Okay, hello. Why is physical exercise so important to long-term health and overall well-being? Well, that's the topic we're going to talk about today. We've been talking about this in other ways, but today we're going to do a little bit deeper dive and talk about our overall wellness based on physical activity. And then stay tuned to the end of the video, and we're going to share top 10 tips of ways that will help you get inspired, stay motivated, and really thrive. So let's do this together. Hello, and welcome to our channel. My name's Elva.
Hi, my name is Nora.
Nora and I do a weekly discussion on a very different amount of topics. But today we really have chosen to talk about wellness and physical activity and just talk about how we can take us from where we are now to become even better and to become our best selves. So let's get into the topic.
Let's do it.
Before we talk about the benefits, let's remind ourselves of what is the recommended amount of a physical activity per week. So for cardiovascular activities such as walking, running, swimming, cycling, it says somewhere between 150 to 300 minutes per week. Strength training, like using weights and resistance bands, it says it's important to do that at least 2 to 3 times a week. And then flexibility exercises such as yoga, stretching, again, it's recommended to do 2 or 3 times a week. But before you do get started with any exercise routine or physical activity, you should, of course, check with your doctor to make sure you're doing what's best for you. So let's get started and talk about what we've been researching and reviewing. So first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about improved cardiovascular health and why that's important. So it says that physical activity really strengthens the heart, improves circulation, and lowers blood pressure, and also reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular conditions. That's a pretty good reason.
Next, we're going to talk about benefits of weight management. So, of course, regular exercise burns calories and increases your metabolism, which builds muscle.
Enhance mood and mental health. Exercise really releases endorphins, which are considered the feel-good hormones. So as you exercise, you start to have this boost of hormones that help you to really push forward. It also helps you to reduce anxiety, stress, and helps you sleep better and boost your self-esteem.
Okay. And also, the benefits of increased muscle and flexibility, of course, is it's going to reduce any type of injury that you may have. Sometimes as we get older, we might have a fall or a trip. So it'll reduce that. And good ways to strengthen yourself is either by doing yoga or strength training.
That's right, definitely. Good. Well, it also helps with improved bone health. So it says weight-bearing exercises, even like walking, jogging, and resistance training help to maintain bone density and also helps to prevent osteoporosis as we get older.
And another benefit is a better immune function. Regular exercise boosts our immune system, which in turn makes us more resistant to illness.
Yep, definitely. And then there's a reduced risk of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, certain cancers, and metabolic syndrome.
And studies also show that if you're a physically active person, you tend to live longer and have a better quality of life.
All right. Okay, let's go on to improve cognitive function, which means exercise is associated with improved memory, concentration, and overall cognitive function. So keeps you smarter or helps you to, stay more alert. And who doesn't want that?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go into benefits of social engagement. And of course, when you have social connections, this is going to help your emotional support because you'll have people that you talk to maybe on a daily basis, and this always helps.
Yep, definitely. So overall, incorporating regular physical activity into your routine helps to improve your physical health and also enhances your mental well-being. And it contributes to you being a happier person and healthier person as well.
Nice. We all want to be happy and healthier and
Yeah.
Currently, the CDC recommends for us to walk at least 10,000 steps per day. Now, prior to COVID, the average steps that we were walking or that we should be walking was 5,323, which is much less than what is actually recommended today. Sitting all day, which is something that I do with my job, is going to increase heart disease and type 2 diabetes. So I'm working on that. Now, if you're walking less than 5,000 steps, this equals an individual that has a sedentary lifestyle. And a sedentary lifestyle is a disease of the 21st century. So that can take years off of your life. So it's very important that we get up and we start to move. Researchers also found that walking at least 2,500 steps to 4,000 steps per day is going to benefit you. Now, of course, you're not up to the 10,000 steps, but we got to start little by little. And at least if you can do that, that's going to help your health.
Those are all important reasons to stay physically active. I think back about when I was younger, I always just contributed physical activity to weight loss. But now we can see that it does so many other important, it helps with so many other areas, and definitely they're also important and necessary to really take serious. So now I feel like it's probably even more important now to exercise because now we know.
Yeah.
So now we need to get off the sideline and stop saying we're going to do it one day and start doing it. So
true.
yeah. So before we move further, we're going to talk a little bit about creating our why. Why is this important to you? Why is it important to me? And that is also part of creating your goals, what it is that you want out of physical activity. And basically, when you start creating that information, that's what you're going to fall back on when you just don't feel like doing it. It's going to help you to remember, this is why it's important to me. I've made a statement. I've made a commitment to myself. I want to be alive, in X number of years. I want to be healthy as I age. And so that why statement is very important. The definition of motivation, which is what the next part we're really going to talk about, is a general desire or willingness to do something. I watched a really good episode that Mel Robbins did on motivation, and she said that it's a force that really explains when you start or stop doing something. She also defines motivation as when you feel like doing something, and that's really what motivation is. She said that motivation is inside of you, so inside of us, which means it's not an external factor, force, anything that all of a sudden you're waiting for it to happen to you. No, you got to make it happen yourself. And I think that's really important. And she said that this is all research backed up. There was a report or research by the University of Oregon that did a study, and basically they concluded that your why is really the most important thing to really set you up for success, so that when it starts, and it's going to be hard, exercise is hard, you can fall back on that why. Why is it important to me? But I've heard something years ago that said exercising and weight training and whatever physical activity you're doing is hard, but it's also hard to be obese, and it's also hard to be ill, to have different heart conditions or any of the diseases we talked about. And so you choose your heart, which one are you more dedicated to? Because they're both going to be hard.
That's a very good point. I like that. Yeah.
There's different types of hard, but definitely, I think I want to be in the boat of trying to improve my physical health and not letting those other things just happen to me. So as promised, now we're going to talk about 10 tips that will help us to get inspired and motivated to take action. So yes, we're going to list them for you. And I'll also list them, of course, in the notes below. But number one said, make exercise a priority. So you have to create some type of routine, set some goals around what you want to do. It doesn't mean that it has to be rigid. It just means, everybody always says the reason why I don't exercise is because I don't have time. The truth is we have time for a lot of other stuff. We have time to eat 3 meals. We have time to watch TV, listen to music. We have time to work, of course, if we work. So we make time. We prioritize what's important to us.
Exactly.
And exercise needs to be one of those items. So instead of saying, I don't have time, you make time for it. You figure it out where you want to do it. And maybe it just means you're going to say, I want to walk, 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, or 2 days a week to start off. Or maybe
Mhm.
it means that you're going to say, I want to go to the gym a couple days a week. Whatever it is, you just make time for that to happen. So that's number one.
So number two, be flexible. A study of 2,500 Google employees shows that employees with a set workout schedule worked out less. And the employees that have flexible time to worked out more. How interesting is that? So as Elva was saying, let's not be rigid about it.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting study, but I think it's so true. Because like if you say, I'm going to exercise every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, that 6 o'clock comes and passes. The rigid people were like, well, I missed it for the day.
Yeah.
Versus the others that said, I'm going to exercise sometime today.
Yeah.
They didn't throw in the towel so quickly. So I think that's a really good point.
Yes.
Number three talks about getting social support. So it says, join a gym with a friend, or make sure, or, ask your neighbor, hey, do you want to walk every night at 7 p.m. or something? When you're doing it with a friend, it becomes easier. They did a study in 2017 with some CrossFit gym owners, and they said that what happens is when you start to build a community around physical activity, walking, going to the gym, whatever it might be, the physical activity moves from something you have to do to something you want to do because you want to be part of that community. You are held
Right.
accountable, you're holding them accountable. So your mind changes about the activity, which I think is great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they're holding you accountable and you're holding them accountable. So you're like,
Right.
okay, I've got to go. So
I've got to be there. That's right.
here's tip number four. So mix it up. Do different types of workouts to avoid the boredom. So don't do the same thing every single day, because if you're doing that same routine every single day for 20, 30 minutes, you're going to get bored of it. But spice it up, do different things. There's all kinds of different exercises that we can do, and even just walking, as you mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Well, tip number five says to anticipate or visualize what it's going to feel like in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Like what changes do you think will happen to you? This is something that when you're visualizing, you're kind of trying to almost see into the future. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that you could definitely see yourself as being stronger, as being more regular with your workouts, maybe pushing yourself a little further. If you've only walked 15 minutes for the first month, you push yourself to 25 minutes or something. So anticipating and visualizing what the future is going to look like helps you to start wanting that to be true.
Absolutely. And we're on to tip number six, track your progress. So take a before picture, and then weigh yourself. Maybe don't weigh yourself every day, because that can be kind of a downer if you haven't lost a pound. And sometimes you gain a pound because you ate that salted, caramel ice cream or something. But weigh yourself maybe once a week and take those pictures, and also your measurements. Take your measurements and you'll start to see those inches drop.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Number seven is reward yourself. So set up rewards for yourself for achieving your exercise goals. It says celebrate milestones and improvements like increasing your endurance or weight loss or creating new goals. I think that's really important is, don't just wait to celebrate when you lose 100 pounds. Do it when you lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds. All of those are worthy to really reward yourself about. But don't reward yourself with a big bowl of ice cream. Give yourself, don't sabotage yourself, but reward
Yes.
yourself in other ways.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Slow and steady. You'll
That's
get
right.
there.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So another thing to do, number eight, is stay positive and flexible. Focus on how much better you're feeling, your improved mood, your sleeping habits. This is a big one for me. If I can sleep better because maybe I've worked out or I've walked, that's a motivation for me right there. And of course, your energy levels are going to pick up because you're working out. So that's another good thing.
That's good. Yeah, definitely. Number nine says educate yourself. So dig into some of this material. We've done the research and we try to bring it to you and do a short, Cliff Notes version of what we've researched online. But there's so much more you can see. There's so many different TED Talks and YouTube videos and other individuals that post things about your health and physical activity. And just as you learn more, you become more kind of just entrenched. You want to learn more. You understand more why it's important. And it also helps your motivation to keep going because it is
That's
really interesting.
absolutely. And we're on to number 10, which is our last tip. And this is visualize your steps, your progress, and your success. So you're not only just saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do, but you're actually visualizing yourself out there walking, running, exercising, stretching, yoga, whatever it is that you're doing. And you're also visualizing the success that it brings.
That's right. Great. Well, let me just tell you about Mel Robbins. So, of course, you know that Nora and I love Mel Robbins. And I watched one of her videos on motivation the other day, and I thought this was interesting. Of course, she started with there's two great points, she says. This is her video called How to Get Motivated. And Mel states that to motivate yourself, to reach your goals, you have to do two things. She says, number one, of course, was the why statement, your goals. Why is this important to me? Write it down, pin it up on a wall, whatever that you see regularly, or you remind yourself of daily, weekly, whatever it takes to keep yourself on track. Number two, she talks about realizing that you're going to go through hesitation. And there's times where you're going to feel like, I don't want to do that. But she said, remember the phrase, just do it. Now, Nora, of the phrase, just do it, what do you think is the most impactful word of that phrase? Just do it.
The most impactful phrase, I do it.
Word.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, just
impactful
one word?
Yes, of
Oh,
just the phrase, just do it.
just do it. Just one word. It would have to be just, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly. And I thought it was do. And I've asked several people over this week, and they were like, they all thought do as well, or it. But she said it's just because the
Oh,
word, the
okay. Well,
just,
hey, I
you're
got
right.
it.
I know. Because she said that when hesitation really kind of sets in, that phrase says, hey, I recognize there's hesitation, push yourself through it. Just do it. Like it's saying, I acknowledge what you're thinking or feeling. Just do
Okay.
it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you've got hesitation, not going to stop us. Let's go.
Okay.
So I really like that because that really
Yeah, I
meant
like that
to
too.
me. Mhm.
Mhm.
And you can acknowledge that sometimes you don't feel like doing it. Find
That's
something, maybe you don't feel like running that day. That's okay. Stay inside, watch a exercise video from YouTube, do it in your living room or something like that. So she says you have to push through your hesitation, basically, or your weakness to harness your greatness. And I like that too. So, and she said the greatness is inside of all of us. We just have to really claim it and surrender to it and be confident that we can. So I like that because I know motivation is a big topic, and it's hard sometimes to feel like you want to do something, but you can't just wait till you feel like it. You have to push yourself. You have to
yeah.
just do it and start being proud of what you're doing. So I will say that over the last few weeks, I have walked at least 2 times a week. That's my start. And then on the weekend, I do at least 10,000 to 11,000 steps. And that's by going to the mountain that's near me, or I do a longer walk. But I'm really committed to getting in my walk. Sometimes the walk is not extremely fast. The mountain, it's a cardio workout. But sometimes
Right.
my walk is a little bit even not slow, but I'm not, I am always sweating, but it's more about getting the number of steps in now is my goal.
Right.
So you got to do what you have to do to get to move towards that goal. So we hope
I
these
agree.
tips will help you. The goal of all of our videos is just to bring you a little extra knowledge and to let you know that this is something that's important to us, and we want it to be something we can do together with you. So we're committed. We're on a path to reach our true best selves that we can be, and we know that you can do it with us. Now,
Yes.
yes, we all can do it together, and we hope you will. Now, we did record a video on happiness last week, and we're going to post it here. So if you want to check that video out next, so you can hear we all need more happiness in our life. And so that next video is about that. Thank you again for watching. Please like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
everybody struggles the exact same way that we are and trying to figure out what's good for us and reading labels, as we've talked about in the past. We're doing the right thing. We're stopping our bad habits, and we're really, trying to do something better for ourselves, because this is the age when we should be doing it, so I don't know, I felt
I
really
mean,
proud of it.
it's never too late. I mean, yeah, we should have been doing it all along, but it's never too late. So it's always good to try.